Hey y'all, it's your travel queen Gabby, and today I am so excited to share with you how I won 3 free international trips and how you can too. If you follow my channel, you already know what PTO are, paid travel opportunities. You know that they're my obsession in life. You know that they're how I help make travel accessible to more people. But if you're new here and you don't know, paid travel opportunities are anything that help you travel for fun, for work, for school, for free. But I think even better than trying to explain to you what PTO are is to just show you. So I'm gonna be giving you just 3 examples of how I've been able to take 3 trips within the last 2 months completely paid for. Trip number 1. Let's get started with the trip that I just came back home from. I was in Newark, New Jersey to speak at a conference called Nomadness Fest. Nomadness Fest is geared towards really any traveler, but specifically BIPOC and Black travelers, to create a safe space to talk about travel and really just have fun. So back in spring of this year, I applied to speak at Nomadness Fest, and the panel that I ended up speaking at last week was about monetizing travel. But how does this tie into it being a PTO? Well, so I applied to speak on a 30-minute panel, right? And I was accepted. Everything around that though is what I'm trying to get at. So I live in Seattle right now. I say live, but I really travel full time, but that's where like my stuff is. So I'm based in Seattle, and they flew me from Seattle to Newark, New Jersey and back on United Airlines. So I got a flight out of it. Of course, because I'm there speaking, my accommodations have to be paid for. So I got 4 days, 3 nights in a hotel, a Marriott hotel, and I'm a Marriott girl. So I also got points from that stay and travel points from using United Airlines, which is also a company that I'm part of their frequent flyer program of. So, I got some points out of it. Of course, because I'm there speaking, I had to get my meals paid for. So already flight, accommodation, and meals of a trip are all things that I would have to pay for if I went on a trip by myself, but I didn't have to pay for because I spoke at this panel because I was there for work, right? And of course, because I'm there speaking, I got free access to the event. So I think the event tickets were maybe around $200. That's money that I didn't have to spend to attend a conference that I was speaking at, and obviously is in my industry, like work-wise. And it may have been something that I definitely would have wanted to go to anyway, but I just didn't have to pay that money. So that's already a huge sum of money for a trip that I didn't have to spend for myself because I was there participating in it. And that's why it's a PTO, it's a paid travel opportunity, because outside of all that, they paid for my accommodations, they paid for my flights, they paid for my food, they paid for my time. I got money to go there and speak. Like, I got paid to do that. And that's because of my job as a travel influencer and content creator. Maybe not anyone in the world could have gone there to do what I did because you're not a travel influencer watching this, but there were also DEI activists that were paid to speak. There were also travel experts in general. There were also students. There was high school students that studied abroad who spoke on those panels. Like, it wasn't just exclusive to travel influencers. I don't want you to see this and be like, PTO, like, you just did that because that's your job. Anyone could have applied. The applications were public. Anyone could have been accepted if they had a strong enough pitch, right? And again, it was just a 30-minute panel, and it was something that I was really passionate about speaking about, and I'm glad that I went anyway because I got awesome networking opportunities out of it. I had a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of people that will not just like further my career, but further like my quality of life. I met people that I would not have met otherwise, and that's a huge reason I love these PTO, paid travel opportunities. Like, whether it's a conference, a study abroad scholarship, an international internship, you're gonna meet people that you never would have been in that space around otherwise, outside of these opportunities, right? So that's the first one. So for that PTO, a conference I spoke at in Newark, New Jersey, again, I had all those things covered. I think the only out-of-pocket spend I had for 4 days and 3 nights was snacks that I brought, like maybe like a martini that I bought and a souvenir. So around $200 out of pocket for 4 days and 3 nights in Newark, New Jersey, a place, again, that I never would have went to otherwise. So I got to explore Newark. I went to the Newark Art Museum. It was gorgeous. I went to Mulberry Park. Is it Mulberry Park? That was gorgeous. I ate at Marcus Samuelson's restaurant, which was delicious. Those were all things that, like, for my life, that bettered my quality of life and was a great trip that I wouldn't have taken and wouldn't have done otherwise without the opportunity to speak at this conference. So speaking at the conference in Newark, New Jersey, thanks Nomadness Fest, that's number 1. And because I'm an influencer, I mean, it was just smart for me to get in that space because look at this. Look at all these brands that I was in the same space of. That will lead to more business for me, to more work for me, and like better my business and, my connections in general. Overall, the experience itself was fantastic, and it was because I applied. That's the only reason I got it. I put myself out there and I applied. And again, applications were public to anyone. Number 2 of the 3 free trips that I've gotten recently, the second PTO that I've won recently, is an adventure that I'm taking off on next week. Actually, I think within the next 5 days. I'm leaving on Saturday. This was not a speaking engagement. This was a contest. Contests. I feel like they're so overrated because people think their chances of winning are so low. Or I know people see contests and they think of like sweepstakes or like putting your name in a hat or something, but that's not the case. A lot of contests are a lot more low competition than you might think because of that exact reason. No one thinks they're gonna win, so no one applies. So people like me who just put their name in the hat and just like go for it ended up winning. So this adventure that's about to take place next week is to Fiji. Let that sink in. Fiji. I'm going to Fiji, completely paid for. Yeah, amazing. And it's outside of my job working in travel. This is nothing to do with me working in travel. Me and 3 other winners were selected from a contest that was hosted in spring 2020. Yes, I applied to this right before the pandemic hit in 2020. Let me show you all about it. Join Sawyer and Backpacker on a mission-driven adventure in Bolivia. The 4 lucky winners, I am one of them, will deliver life-changing water filters to remote indigenous communities, trek amongst the world's most spectacular mountains, experience a unique culture, create a new adventure. And I'm a solo female traveler just in life. This would be a really difficult trip for me to plan solo, especially doing it in the way that we're doing it with Sawyer. Logistically, like getting around to the different towns, I'd be super nervous. The language barrier, I'd be super nervous. It doesn't matter that I'm a seasoned traveler. This is a lot. This is a big trip to plan. So the fact that this PTO is still making this trip accessible to me, logistically, financially, and confidence-wise, is the perfect example of why I love PTOs and why I am so encouraging of people to just put themselves out there. If you want to travel, there are these ways, like these opportunities exist. So I'll be doing that. Again, you know, the basics of a PTO. Flights are covered, accommodations are covered, excursions are covered, meals are covered. I got points. Again, I'm flying Fiji Air, so I got points with that. I think they're One World Alliance. I'm gonna get points with the hotel that we're staying in. Ancillary benefits, which mean like side benefits, like side perks that you don't think are direct, but kind of indirect benefits, right? Again, I am a travel influencer, so I didn't win this because I'm a travel influencer, but being in Fiji is kind of just helpful to my brand in general, right? For marketing purposes, it's literally a once in a lifetime experience. Again, I don't know if I would ever have like the reason to do this type of experience in Fiji and also the logistics or the connections to be able to do it in this way. I'm gonna be learning about Fijian culture, Fijian language. I have no idea about Fiji. I have been to Australia once when I was 18, and that's the closest I've ever been to Fiji, so it's truly a new adventure for me. I'm so excited. The trip is valued, I think, around multiple $1,000s, maybe closer to $7,000 or $8,000 trip. That would be a huge hit to me financially, even though I do have my work. Like, again, a PTO and applying to this has made it accessible to me financially, confidence-wise, and logistically. And I'm so excited! Fiji! Okay, and again, I didn't win this because I'm an influencer, but of course, being a travel influencer, being in these different locations is gonna help me, like, because I'm gonna make content there. So I have a campaign that I'm gonna shoot while I'm in Fiji on this contest. I'm going on this contest. I'll be installing water systems. I'll be learning about local culture and things. On the side, this will help my business because I'm working with Sony and Best Buy to talk about this new camera. So I'm just like, it's all coming together. It's so exciting. And it could be the same for you. Maybe you're like a plumber and you won this contest and this would connect you with another plumber. Like it would show you the opportunities that are out there. In Fiji, maybe you'll learn something that will help you with your business, or maybe it will put you on a different career path entirely. Like you just don't know until you're out there in the world what will inspire you and what will change your life, or who you'll meet that will change your life. And these paid travel opportunities are ways to get more people access to these opportunities, and I love that. Okay, finally, the third free trip that I'm taking just in the last few months that I've won is to Cape Town, South Africa. And it's blowing my mind, honestly, to make this video because these are places that I am a seasoned traveler. This is my job, travel. These are places that are still really hard to access for me. They're far away. They're expensive to get to. The language is different. You want to have friends on the ground to make the experience worthwhile. So the fact that I'm going to be going to Cape Town, South Africa, working with Remote Year and Venture Noir, two incredible companies that I'm just lucky to be associated with at all, let alone to be in this business accelerator, blows my mind. So again, this is a business accelerator. I applied to this in spring 2022, earlier this year. It was an application like anything else. I think it took maybe 20 minutes to fill out the application. I had to tell a little bit of my story. This wasn't, again, because I was an influencer or because I work in travel or because I know somebody who knows somebody. I just applied to this on a whim. And they actually ended up changing the program. It's for small businesses. It's a business business accelerator, but they were originally targeting people in the travel industry in general, and now they've shifted away from that. And I'm just so lucky to be one of the few, I think maybe less than 10 people chosen, because the other businesses in this accelerator are health, they're beauty, they're tech. Like, travel is not the target demographic for this opportunity, but I was selected anyway because of my application skills. And that's the other thing about these PTO is awareness of them. I'm sure some of you are watching this and are thinking, oh my God, if I had known about any of those 3 things, I would have been applying for it. Awareness is huge. And I don't think I'm special or like anything out of the ordinary, but I just have a high level awareness of these opportunities because I'm always looking for them, because I know they exist, because I know how awesome they are. And that's part of why I'm making this video too, is to inspire you guys. Like, they exist, and there are things that I can't even fathom exist that may just be life-changing for you guys. So I want you to just know that awesome things exist out there, and keep an eye open for Selena, you know? So, okay, back to number 3. I'll be going to a business accelerator program and mentorship experience in Cape Town, South Africa for an entire month, all of October this year. I'll be there. A little bit more context around it. 15 to 20 US-based startup founders to South Africa. I'll be meeting South African entrepreneurs in Cape Town and Johannesburg. Partnership is through Remote Year. I'll have classroom training and a full cultural immersion in South Africa, including private accommodation, a workspace, access to local experience, community programming, social impact projects, staff, health and safety resources, global thinking, networking. Like, I don't know if you're reading the same thing I'm reading, but that's incredible to me. And even if you didn't study abroad in college, to me this is like a study abroad experience. This is a month in South Africa where I'll be learning in a classroom, where I'll be networking, where I'll be meeting people, I'll have culture experiences. This is like adult study abroad to me. And tons of these experiences exist in travel for anybody. Again, I didn't have to be in the travel space to apply to this. This application was online. This was for anyone to apply to. If you're a startup watching this, you could have applied to this if you had known about it. And if you had known about it, right? Awareness. If you had had the expertise in applying to like make your application really competitive, which I help with too. And if you just dared, if you took the risk, if you went for it. Like, I want everyone to have access to the opportunities. So that's it. I went to Newark, New Jersey. I was flown out, accommodations, spoke at a conference, saw a part of the country I'd never seen before. I'm going to Fiji on Saturday. I'm spending 10 days there. This is a bucket list trip for me to see a really local community, to contribute, to give back, to learn. It's gonna change my life. I already know that. I'm already kind of crying. Like, it's really exciting. Number 3, I'm going to South Africa for a month, an entire month, to learn, to be around new people, to be in a new place. And that's important to me as a member of the African diaspora, that I see more of the continent. I've only been to Kenya, and I was there for a month too, but that's it. I haven't been back to the continent. I'm so excited. I know my dad's excited for me too. Yeah, it's gonna be life-changing. And it may not all be fun, by the way. It's gonna be work at some points. I'm not just going on free vacations, right? Each one of these was work, whether it was part of my career or not. Speaking at the conference was preparation. It was expertise. It was confidence. It was nerves, right? Going on this trip to Fiji, it's a place I've never been before. I may not enjoy it. They gave me a lot of bug spray to go to Fiji. A lot of bug spray. I'm terrified. If you know me, I get eaten up by bugs. I'm so afraid. But it's gonna be life-changing anyway, and I'm gonna go anyway. South Africa is gonna be a month in the classroom. I know I said I'm excited about that, but it will actually be work. I'll have to go out in the community and test like my boundaries and limitations and put myself in uncomfortable situations, and it's not gonna just be fun. Like, it's not just a whirlwind vacation, luxury, people are doing everything for me. It's gonna be work. That's what I'm excited about. That's what excites me the most. And I think if you're watching this, then it excites you too. Ambitious, curious, people who push themselves out of their boundaries, that's who PTO are made for. And that's who I want to talk to right now. So in summary, 3 free trips around the world.
It's like a water droplet, so I'm assuming